What's going on, guys? G2 here. Welcome back to the bench. And today what we're going to do is we're going to review the Bushnell AR Optics, in particular the 1x8 magnification, or the 1:8 magnification AR optic on a 30mm tube. This is, I got a great deal on this. This is a last gen. The new gen just came out, so if you can still find some of the older ones, I got this for $179. The new ones retail for almost $400 right now. And not only did I get it, I got, as part of a special deal, a 3-day backpack by Blackhawk Tactical that came with that as well. So great deal. And if you're able to gobble one of those up, I definitely would. There's still some more on the Bushnell website. As of now, they have the 1-4s as well as the 1-6s available. The next gen, then they have the new gens as well. So going into this one, the box itself, really nice branding, packaging, comes with a basic introduction packet, and then it shows here the different reticles that they offer. This one here is done in the illuminated BTR, so it's your typical circle here with your center dot, and then 100-yard drops as you go down. This is based on a 100-yard zero with 223 rounds. The box inside obviously came with the scope. It also came with an additional throw lever. The one that I have on there is the short throw lever, and you can see this one a little bit longer, about 1/4 inch longer. And then it came with a optic glass cleaner as well. And this also came with a tool here that has the hex wrench, torque wrench. It has another Allen wrench here, and then various flathead slots to use for your adjustments and whatnot. Good to keep that in the range bag if you don't have a screwdriver or anything handy. Plus, it is a polymer, so it won't scratch your finish or your turrets, which is always good. Now, going into the optic itself, it also came with this kind of bikini strap for the lenses, good for transport. And as we're looking at this, it has, again, illuminated BTR. And these illumination go from 1 to 6. The good thing about this, which I really like, was a huge selling point for me, was this illumination has off in between each setting. So when you hit 6, if you want to turn it off, you click it to the off. If you want to turn it on, you go back to the 6, and vice versa. So it keeps it on and off really easy. You don't have to cycle all the way through to turn it off or all the way through to turn it on. Really nice feature. The magnification again on this goes up to 8. The turret moves really nice, really smooth. The more I've used this, the better it has become. You can use it easily with the throw lever in the position, or if you just wanted to do it that way, it both move easily, fairly easy. If you want to adjust the tension in here, maybe it's a little too tight for you, there is a little Phillips screw here where you can adjust the tension. I suggest you kind of leave it where it is and just use it, and it'll eventually kind of loosen itself out. The turrets, windage and elevation are capped. These move in 1/10 of a mil increments per click, based on 100 yards. So make sure you factor that in when you're doing your sighting. They also, when you remove this top screw here, you can reset your zero. So once you get it all zeroed in and ready to go at whatever range you want it to do, you just take those up and you reset your caps, if you can see, so you know exactly where your zero is. A lot of scopes do this. I see a lot of people not taking advantage of it. Maybe they just don't know. I'm not sure. But it's really great. So if you wanted to put a wind hold on something, you can just turn that wind hold. And then if you want to go back to your zero, you just put the 0 over the line and you're back to where you are, and you know you have a confirmed 0 based on the yardage that you sighted in. Really great feature. And then it has the focusing ring on the back for you to focus to your specific eyesight, which is great with me, especially if you wear glasses. Really great feature. So those are the basics. Again, I have this on a cantilever mount. This is a UTG mount. You can use whatever mount you want. You want 2 mounts, cantilever, whatever, doesn't matter. Again, it's a 30mm tube, so make sure you get the right cantilever mount or whatever mount you decide for this optic. And yeah, I think it's time we go and we stretch this baby out and see what you can do. Let's head over to the range. So if you're watching this video, there's a 97% chance that you are not subscribed. Unbelievably, 97% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to make sure that you are notified when all of my new content drops. I drop new content every week. What's going on, guys? G2 here. We are at the range and we're going to be doing a review on the Bushnell AR Optics. This is a 1:8x 30mm tube. It has a illuminated reticle. We quickly reviewed this when we installed it, when we mounted it. Now we're going to be zeroing this guy in on our 308. We've got our Chinese knockoff Atlas bipod here at the ready, and I'm excited to see how this thing performs because I've got really high expectations for it. Hopefully this guy cooperates with me today. He has a tendency to not like brass ammo. For some reason he kept chipping the rim of the brass case. Now I don't know, maybe it just needs a little break-in period. Maybe there was too much mass coming forward. The spring may have been too tight. But for some reason, God love him, he loves this cheapo stuff, the cheap tool ammo. Not the best for accuracy and precision, but this guy just seems to love it, eats it up. So, first impressions on this Bushnell. You saw what the reticle looks like. I love that BDC drop point reticle. And here we're going to be zeroing it to 50 yards. I'm a 5200 guy, especially for a rifle like this. So let's load this guy up. We've got our target set up at 50 meters. Let's see what we do. Now we already used our Wheeler bore sighter here to get us, according to the bore sighter, it's lined up with the reticle. So we should be, within 6 inches to where we want to end up as our final zero result. So again, if you haven't seen the review on this, the review I did with the AR9, just get yourselves one. Bite the bullet, spend the 80 bucks, and it's going to be well worth it. Believe me, in terms of zeroing, we zeroed our AR in 9 shots. I zeroed my 700 Remington in 6 shots. It's unbelievable. Well worth it. Pop our ears. Got our mags loaded with 3, so we're going to go 3, check, make our adjustments, and shoot 3 more. Also, when you're zeroing in a multi-magnification optic, make sure that you have it turned all the way up. Don't zero it in at 1. If it's 1 to 8, zero in at 8. If it's 6, zero in at 6. Max magnification is where you should be putting your zero. Take a look. Okay, so you can see we are barely squeezed the paper there. There's 2. I'm imagining 3 is probably there. So we know we've got to come up 11 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's call it 4. We'll do 5. Up 11 and over 5. All right. Pulled that one a hair. Okay, so that one we did there was a couple shots in between there. We did one round of 3. Those mills click at 1/10 of a mil at 100 meters, so I didn't quite factor in the 1/10, so we had to do a lot more than I thought in terms of adjustments, but I think I got it on that 3rd batch, and here we go. So that's where we started, right? We had our 1, 2, boom, and then I saw that after I made the adjustments, and I was like, whoa, we got to go way more. So those were the remaining 2 from that 3, and then we finished right here. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful group, about the size of a quarter at 50 meters with Wolf tall ammo. I'm gonna call that guy zeroed. So again, it just shows you once again, no matter how many times I do this, I'm always surprised at the ease it is to sight in a rifle when you're using a laser bore sighter. I know you guys are probably tired of me talking about it, but God, man, it's a beaut. If you've done it the other way and you've blown through 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 rounds and you're not even sniffing paper yet, believe me, I feel your pain because I've been there. So let's take this guy over to the 200, see if we can't ring the bell. Okay, so here we are at the 200. The 100 is right there. The 200 is way back there. There's a gong in between. You'll know if we hit it. It may take a second for that bullet to get there, but you should hear it. I feel confident with our 50 yard zero, 50 meter zero, that our 200 meters is going to be no problem, especially with the 8X that we have on it. We should hit this pretty easily. Dang. One shot. That gong out there is 12 inches wide. So to hit a center mass 12-inch target at 200 yards, I think that shows how easy the 50 meter sight in is and how applicable it is for 200 yards. Just for shits and giggles, for you guys who are wondering about the 100, I'm going to load up 3 and I'll ring 100 for you. We're going to go to 100. That is right here. Now remember, we're sighted in 50, 200. If you're on bullseye at 50, you're going to be on bullseye at 200 because of the arc of the bullet. Now at 100, we're talking 1.5 maybe inches of elevation that's increased because of the arc. We should hit high on that gong. I'm going to aim right in the center of that 8-inch gong, and we should be able to ring it. No problem. Just to show you, again, this kind of became a 3-part video, I suppose, because we're reviewing this Bushnell, but we're also doing 100 or 50, 200 meter sight in, and you can see 100 yards. I was holding dead center impact, center mass, and we were hitting no problem. So that's why I love the 50-200. Now let's talk about the Bushnell, the star of the show today. This guy is, man, what a nice framing optic. The lens is super clear. I love the reticle. The illumination, I mean, we don't need that at this point because it's so bright out. And even with the brightness, the black reticle on the black backings that we have stand out no problem. It's a non-issue or a non-concern for me. It held zero, as you can see. We zeroed at 50, we rang the bell at 200, and we rang the bell again at 100, and we didn't lose any zero. Of course, a lot of that comes to make sure that we were mounting your optic properly, which I'll show you we did in a video, and I'll link it in the the video right here to show you how to properly mount. But this guy worked great. The 8x magnification, it swallowed a bug. The reticle I can't talk anymore about because it's crisp, it's clean, it's very slim, so there's not a lot of reticle obtrusion. You can see your target, and the light outside, ambient light, does not impact this at all. Everything is clear, the glass is clear, there's no haze. The magnification works great. I love that it has this throw switch, so if you want to do it quickly, you can do it quickly with the throw switch, no problem. And the best part about that is that throw switch retracts back so it's out of your way, and still, even if you wanted to move it, gives you a nice positive leverage point for moving that. The turrets, again, we talked there, it's a 1/10 of a mil adjustment at 100 yards. Make sure you're paying attention to that so you're not wasting any additional rounds. Sighting in at 50, you're going to have to move that turret a lot more than you think is comfortable, so make sure you do your math right. Remember, 10 clicks at 100 yards to move it 1 inch. Overall, Bushnell did a great job on this, so if you're in the market for an AR optic, this one, I think I got, it's an old gen, it's like last year's gen, the new gens are coming out now, so this was, I want to say, somewhere in the neighborhood of 170, 180. It comes in 1 to 4, 1 to 6, 1 to 8, and different reticles, different bullet drops, and of course it has the illumination. So all in all, a great package for an AR platform. I was skeptical that it was going to hold up to the recoil of a 308, and it did it no problem. So I can tell you 100% confidence that in a 223, 556, 65 Creedmoor, it's gonna work. It's gonna work fine. 300 blackout even. It's gonna be great. Let's head on back to the bench and wrap this up. It's a pretty good sight picture as to what you can see, and that black drop point really shows up. So if you look at it up against that black background, that's a no problem. I'm gonna hit this illumination. I don't really know if you can see it. This is at the highest illumination. You can see it when I black it out. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit here where it is. So that's what it looks like at highest illumination. So in closing, overall, I'm really happy with this optic. I'm really happy with the performance of this optic. I do have one tiny gripe, complaint, whatever you want to call it, and this is just personal preference. I'm not a fan of the 0.1 mil adjustments per click. I think for an optic like this, it might be overkill. Something like this, where engagement distance, you're talking probably comfortably with an 8x magnification, 200 yards, maybe 300. I think that 1/10 adjustment is overkill. Maybe doing it at a half would have been better. Again, personal preference. That's the only thing I'm going to bitch about in terms of this. Other than that, I'm absolutely in love with it, and it gets a huge vote of approval from me. Again, I am not endorsed by anyone, so everything that you see on my channel is purchased by me, unless I otherwise state that. I did buy this myself, and it's reviewed by me, so I have no skin in the game other than my personal money. So with that being said, if you're in the market for an optic, I would check this guy out. So until next time, make sure that you're practicing safe weapons handling at all times and treating every weapon as if it was loaded. God bless America. G2 out.